People outside the norm, people that you'll probably never come across, and if you did, well, your reactions would be mixed. This video is about transgender, transsexual people, and I hope I do them right because I am learning as I write the script for this video. And hell yeah, there's a lot to digest. But before I begin, this is not simply about men wanting to dress up as women or women wanting to wear pants. And yeah, we all know the topic is divisive, misunderstood, and there are a lot of outright lies about those who are transsexual and transgender. Unfortunate as well is that this small demographic has become a heated point of contention, especially among a lot of politicians, all of whom don't give a real fuck about the people that they are slighting, and they are being slighted. The right place to begin in this video is always with the definition and history, and where the definition behind transsexuality is clearly defined, the science behind the definition is not. From brain structure to hormones, with genetics thrown into the mix, the issue is broad and complex, and for what it's worth, if you can make sense of it, you're welcome to it. And with that said, let's take a little trip back in time and try to understand some of the history of transsexuality. And this is where terminology comes into play and ideas get confusing because of the change in terminology. As I said, the definition of transsexuality is pretty much straightforward, except it isn't. The term transsexual was first used here in America in 1949 to identify those that wanted to undergo surgery to change their sex. And some 20 odd years later, the term transgender was inserted into the public awareness. And that term has more to do with simple identity. And the difference is this: transsexual refers to those who have or want to undergo medical procedures to change their sex. And the term is actually considered outdated. Transgender refers to those who are just outright uncomfortable with the sex that was assigned to them at their birth. And moving forward, this is the term I'm going to be using. And by moving forward, I mean taking a look into the past. And the history of the transgender population begins some 3,000 years ago in India, where a third gender is mentioned in ancient texts and held some degree of social importance. Ancient Mesopotamia too had references to those who were transgendered, and numerous North American cultures, from Native Americans to people in Mexico and all the way to Peru, had references to gender fluidity. Ancient Egypt had categories for third genders as well did the Romans. So there is absolutely nothing new in our lives when it comes to the existence of those who view their gender quite differently than I and you probably do. Fact is, for a large part of our history, there have been an awful lot of people that have been uncomfortable with their assigned sex at birth. Now, I would like to take a pause here and say this. This is going to be a hard video to do. There are so many directions to go with this topic, from the religious aspects to the cultural differences, as well diving into the historical persecutions to all the current celebrities who are transgender. The history of the transgender here in the US, for instance, includes the likes of Mary Henley in 1692 Massachusetts, or a preacher by the name of the Public Universal Friend in 1776. And we can't forget to mention the circle of hermaphroditus or something like that in 1895. By the time the 20th century arrived, it brought terminology and hormone therapy and eventually surgery. By the last half of the 20th century, anti-discrimination laws were being passed, and rights, like the right to marry, were being talked about and given. And here we are today, closing out the first quarter of a new century, and I'm going to finish with this. Only about 1% of the population identifies as transgender, and it's clear as fuck. Those who want to view their own gender in their own terms and not mine have always been with it, and always will be. But something is different today. Our government, for one, doesn't seem to give a shit about any of their rights. And the transgendered are the scapegoats for a shitload of stupid Democrats that the Republicans are somewhat right in pointing their finger at. Of course, Republicans got their shame as well in how they refer and treat those who are different. But if you were to ask me, I'd just tell you that I don't care how you identify your sex, as long as you're a good, decent person, because after all, that is what is important, right? I'm here and I want to say thank you for watching this, and this was an interesting video to do. I always enjoy all my videos and I always learn things, but this one was special because it's such a the the topic is one that's so divisive, especially today. And the thing is that this is a topic that should not be divisive, not at all. First of all, everybody deserves respect across the board. But it's like today, with this administration, the the whole culture is one of disrespect. And that just kind of mind-boggling to me. I'm sorry, but if we can't look at people that are different from us and respect their differences, I mean, really seriously, because everybody is different to some degree from everybody else. Differences are a part of who we are. It's part of our reality. So, I don't know. I'm probably just talking to a fucking brick wall. But just, yeah. And you know what? Democrats were wrong, and I'm a Democrat. But Democrats were wrong in how they just pushed and shoved this shit on everybody. And it's not that, yeah, Republicans ain't perfect either. So let's just settle that right there. No, okay. Yeah. It's just something it's just another, it's like abortion. It's just another argument that people use to push an agenda and divide the rest of us. And that's the bottom line. And that's all I'm going to say. Peace out, my friends. Enjoy. I'm going down bad.